back to Grace's room. So recently I've seen this really cool makeup technique on TikTok where it basically gives you a really smooth foundation but also matches your skin tone like really well. And you achieve this by basically dividing your face up into a grid, so it almost looks like a checkerboard, and then you fill it in with different shades of like concealers, foundation, and contour, and then you blend it all together and it will give you the really smooth foundation. And I've always wanted to try this. I think it looks so cool, but apparently it's really time consuming, so hopefully it's worth it. Okay, so I've just put a headband in my hair just to make sure that my hair obviously doesn't get in the way, and I guess I'm ready to get started. I've picked out all of the like concealers and foundations that I think I'll need to do the grid, so hopefully it all works out. But the first thing I'm going to do is just put some primer on my face, just because I'm putting a lot of products on my face right now, so I will need to make sure I have something just to sort of protect my skin a little bit. Okay, so I've just put the primer on my face, and now it's time to start doing the grid, I guess. So what I'm going to be doing first of all is marking my face, so sort of just drawing the grid on my face, and I'm using a very, very precise brush for this, and I'm just using a bit of concealer to mark it out with. And I think I'll start first by just marking down the middle. Okay, I think that's roughly the middle. And I'm just gonna draw a line all the way down my face. Hopefully this goes well. It's a little bit wonky. Okay, not too bad. Sort of run a bit out of product though on my brush. Okay, so just split my face in half. And I think that doesn't look too bad. It's okay, it looks pretty straight. Now I think before I just start drawing lines all over my face, I'm going to sort of mark them out and just see roughly how wide I want them to be. I think around, does that look right? I think that should be fine. That looks wide enough. So I'm just gonna kind of just do little lines just at the top, just to sort of mark lines that I want to draw on my face. Sorry, that's a lot of lines in one sentence. Okay, so I sort of just put like little markers on my face, and I think that looks alright. So I'm just going to start drawing the lines all the way down my face. See now why they say this is so time consuming. I've only done half of my face, and it already took me a little while to make sure they were very straight, and even then they're not the straightest, but oh well. Okay, that took a little while to do, but they look sort of straight, I guess. Halfway there. Now I need to do the horizontal lines, and I'm not too excited about doing that. Hopefully I can keep them pretty straight, but I think I might start just at my eye level, because at least I'll be able to tell that that one like matches up, if that makes sense, and then that way I can kind of do the rest of them after doing that. Okay, it was actually a little bit hard to go over the nose because it went a little bit bumpy, but I think I'm going to do the same thing like what I did when I did the vertical lines, and sort of just mark where the lines will go. Okay, so I'm actually finding that drawing the horizontal lines are a lot easier than drawing the vertical ones. I can sort of just like turn my head and it goes pretty straight, so I'm loving that. Kind of looks a little bit like Spider-Man at the moment, but I'm just going to quickly finish drawing those. Okay, so I finished doing the horizontal lines. That also did take a little while, but probably not as long as it took to do the vertical lines, but it doesn't look too bad actually. I think they look pretty even. I just drew an extra line just on my nose because I realized it's obviously a bigger area to cover, so I had to just drew like a line just there. But besides that, all of the boxes are done. And now it's time to fill them in, which is the more exciting part, I guess. Hopefully it turns out well. Like I said, I've picked all of the different like shades that I'm going to use. And it doesn't really matter, I guess, that the boxes aren't exactly even, because once I fill them in, you're not really going to notice them. Okay, so the first thing, or the first shade I'm going to fill them in with is actually the shade that I just used on my face. It's quite a light and a pale colour, and obviously I'm going to need something light, otherwise it's going to look too dark, my face. So, sorry, I'm just trying to work out which brush I'm going to use, but I think I'm going to use these like really square brushes. They look really good and they'll probably go well when I fill it in with the boxes. The only thing I'm not exactly sure about is where to place all of them, if that makes sense. Like, I've got 5 shades here in total that I'm going to be filling in my face with. So I guess I'll be doing like the darker tones more around like the outside of my face, and maybe the lighter ones more in the middle to create more highlight. Okay, so that's a lot of talking. Let's just fill them in. We'll start with this little random box here.
Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to.
Okay, that looks good. Yeah, this brush is definitely really good for filling in these boxes with, because it's got straight edges. There we go. Okay, now where else should I go? Maybe I'll do some on my nose.
Regret it all. When I think it through, I can help the way I feel for you.
Okay, so I've only done 4 boxes, but it's actually quite fun to fill them in. Like, it's just like, it's kind of satisfying since it really like, I don't know, it looks cool. But like I said, I'm sort of just struggling to work out where I need to put these colors, like what would look good. I don't want to like do too many of these light colored boxes and then not have enough room for all the other shades. So, I mean, I guess I could always like go back in and fill them in. So maybe I'll just do a couple more like roughly just around the inside of my face.
Let's talk until we're fine. You've been in bed for days, empty without me, you say. Can't you just magically turn up in mine? Then you knock on my door on the 2nd floor.
Okay, I think I'm done with this color just for now. Like I said, maybe I might go back in later and fill in a couple more with this shade, but for now I think that's probably enough. I think I might do this darker contour shade now. This is from Huda Beauty. It's called the Overachiever Concealer, but I got it in a darker shade and it looks good as sort of like a liquid contour. But I think I'm going to use this one now, and like I said, I think I'm going to stick to more of the outside areas of my face. Because I don't really want too many, like, I don't want to look too dark, like, in the middle, because that's not usually what I do. So, hopefully this is okay. I don't want to use too much of this. But yeah, hopefully it goes well. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for the dark brown for now. Like I said, I might go in later and do some more of it, but I think that's okay. I actually ended up adding one just in the center of my face just because I thought, oh, well, you know, if I'm adding too many light colors, maybe it will look too light, so maybe you need that dark brown to balance it all out, if that makes sense. But now I'm going to be using this peach shade. I have this Makeup Forever palette. It's supposed to be more of a face painting palette, but I saw someone else use this and they used this like peach shade, and I thought that's probably a good idea to use a peach shade. You know, maybe adds a little bit of blush, but also just adds a little bit of like those pinkier tones, because I have more pink undertones rather than like yellow or anything. So I don't want to add too much of this though. So I'm probably gonna again focus maybe more of like the middle, not too much into my face, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's just do this. Hopefully it's not too. Actually, that looks a little bit pink. Uh-oh. Maybe yeah. Just make sure I don't use too much of this shade.
Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to get it right. Another heart attack, words that we can't take back. We are the reason opposites attract. Once you slam the door on the second floor.
Okay, I probably overdid it maybe a little bit with the pink, but I mean it looks kind of pretty. I look like one of those like Neapolitan ice creams. But okay, I think we've only got like 2 shades now left. I think I'll definitely probably have to go back in with like the brown and that lighter shade. But I have, I think I'll use this. I actually have a foundation. I just realized I've been using a lot of concealer, not really foundation, even though the whole point of this is to use foundation. So I have this Hourglass stick foundation, and it's more of like this, it's always been very orange on me, but it's just sort of like a little bit of a darker shade. I feel like maybe I need something that's just nudie, but like a little bit darker, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna use that, and I'll probably try to use maybe a little bit more of this one, because I still have like a lot of squares left.
Until we're fine. You've been in bed for days, empty without me, you say. Can't you just magically turn up in mine? Then you knock on my door on the second floor, and I feel okay. We just made it.
Okay, so it's definitely starting to come along now. I only have one more shade left to use, and that's just this Shape Tape Concealer. It's probably very similar to the first shade that I used. Probably just this one's probably a little bit lighter, but I definitely see that there's still a lot of squares to be filled in. So once I do this, I think I'm going to go back in with all the other colors that I used before and just fill in some empty spaces. Okay, so I have finished filling in all of the squares, and it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. Like that maybe only took like maybe just under an hour. But all of them are filled in now. I look like a checkerboard or like a makeup palette or something. But it's sort of dried up a little bit because, like I said, I've been doing it for a while. So I just I saw someone else use just some setting spray on top of it. So hopefully that will help make things a lot easier to blend. I think I'm going to start off with just this buffer brush, but let's start blending. This is like, I'm so excited to do this. Hopefully it turns out well. Alright, let's go. Okay guys, so I'm blending and the shade actually doesn't look that bad so far. It's maybe looking a little bit too dark for me, but let's just not lose hope and keep blending. But at the moment it actually kind of looks kind of cool. Wow, I'm excited. Okay guys, so I've been blending this for like a couple of minutes now, and it was a little bit tough to blend, but it is blending alright now. But I have this last little set of squares. So there's all my hard work gone. But I think the shade doesn't look too bad. I think maybe it just looks a little bit too dark. I probably shouldn't have used as much of shouldn't have used as many dark brown squares as I did. I might just go in with the Beauty Blender just to sort of finish things off a little bit.
Need a shot and then a beat, somewhere to let out some steam.
Okay, so that was a lot of blending, but I think it is pretty much all done now. Sorry, no, I'm still blending as I'm saying that. I don't even know what to say. It actually wasn't too hard to blend, like I said, it was just very dark. I mean, if you look at this foundation brush, it has so much product on it. My face does feel a little bit cakey, but the colour doesn't actually look too bad. I did have to blend out a lot of my neck because it was maybe just a little bit too dark, but overall, it's not actually too bad. I mean, I probably would have used some more of like this shade maybe, because I can tell like around here it does look very dark. But besides that, it's actually not too bad. Yeah, probably on my neck, it's a little bit different actually, but just cover my hair there, you won't be able to notice too much. Well, I'm gonna quickly finish off this makeup look, just do like a bit of powder and maybe a little bit of eyeshadow there, and then I'll give my final judgment.
Cause I've been feeling that crazy, and I need to lose control. So baby, put the record on, baby, put the record on, hit it. And I've been needing that crazy, and I gotta let it go. So baby, put the record on.
Okay, so I've just finished applying just a little bit of like eyeshadow, mascara, and lip gloss. I also put a little bit of powder on my face as well because I've used so much concealer. But this is the completed look. I didn't really add any like bronzer or concealer because I kind of feel like adding all of that before with like the squares sort of already did that for me. But yes, this is what it looks like. I don't think it looks too bad. Maybe just like I said, a little bit too dark. Okay, so this is my attempt at trying the checkerboard makeup technique. I would say the technique probably works. It's probably partially my fault that I didn't use enough lighter shades on my face because it definitely does look a little bit dark. You can tell the shade difference when you look at my neck. But it was actually really fun to do and I really enjoyed doing it, but I just probably wouldn't really recommend it unless you have like 5 hours to get ready or something. It was a little bit time consuming. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at Grace's World Official, and I'll see you guys next time on Grace's Room. Bye for now. My face feels so cakey, I need to take this off.